Hi everyone, you're listening to the Vialucci podcast, uncensored and completely unedited discussions about life and everything in it. We hope you enjoy the show.
It's an excellent start.
Stuart Antony.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Yeah, what's the different ways of spelling Anthony? I always worry about.
There's two, and it's always the wrong way. No one spells it right.
Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony.
What's the other one?
Antony.
Right. Yeah. I always. Yeah. Okay. So you're the H.
No, I'm not the H.
I thought you was. I could have swore I saw the H.
No.
Where's my phone? I'm sure I've seen that.
You WhatsApp
Coffee.
to me with an H.
Because I was worried
then
the dyslexia. I was looking, and I'm sure I saw it.
No,
I must have seen. I'm sure somebody wrote it.
Right.
Well, it might not be. I'll tell you what, though. You've done the rounds with the acting. I was looking you up online.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done the sort of the Pentagon of the English. You've done the bit. What is it?
Everybody's done the bill, so we'll get that one out of the way. The Holbeys.
Yeah.
The Enders.
Yeah.
All that.
The Enders.
Yeah. Everybody.
So when you say the Holbeys, do you mean Holby and
Casualty? So I did. I'm very lucky that I did Holby, Casualty, and then a one-off of Casualty at Holby City.
No, did they really?
They do.
So it's like a Marvel universe of.
Yeah, they tried to make it work, and they sort of did a few one-offs of it, but it didn't really take off. And Holby's gone now, so
Has Holby
it
finished?
will be finishing. Yeah, it's sad.
Oh, is this a Vialucci podcast
No,
exclusive?
No, it's out.
Oh, you could have lied and
No,
said
we're out of
Yeah,
date.
it is. Yeah. Yeah.
What is? Is a Casualty still going?
Casualty's still going. So that was originally done in Bristol.
Right.
Now done in Cardiff, where Doctor Who and all that sort of stuff's done
Permanently.
Yeah.
Oh right.
And then Holby's done at Elstree, where EastEnders is done.
Oh, still okay.
Which didn't ever make any sense to me as to why they would split that up. But it gives people in London a chance as well as it does down the south. So
okay.
Yeah.
Push that mic towards you. Sorry,
Was it a bit low? Is it?
I was cleaning up. That's it. Yeah. What were you in Casualty and Were you?
I've done it a few times. So sometimes I mean, when I first started out doing a crossover from originally I was an extra. So I started out doing that and then moved into parts.
Well, you can break out of the extra.
Oh God, you can. You can be a leg and then become a
right. I thought they just
body.
cripple you
No.
emotionally and you sort of give up.
Yeah, that's
those
it, yeah.
All those kind
Anger.
of before they were famous type shows
Yeah.
are just full of people having an appearance in like Casualty or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. So you can.
Yeah, tons of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a stain on your record.
No, not at all. No, completely opposite. Because it's a big show. And it's because they can bring you back. It's quite handy.
Yeah.
Like lots of things. Same with doctors.
Well, the bill you used to be able to do every 10 weeks.
Really?
And I'd be calling my agent on like week 9 going, can I do the bit? Oh, not yet. Why are you ringing me now? You know you can't do it for today.
Where do they do the bill?
So they used to do it at Wimbledon.
Oh, yeah, Wimbledon Studios, didn't they?
Yeah.
Wimbledon Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
There's
still
a big
there.
studio that's just opened in Hertfordshire, Enfield. This a big one, like it is in partnership with something else.
Oh, that's not the new Netflix one, is it? Because I know they're going to do one in Ashford.
No,
that's the Amazon
it's
one.
just past Enfield. Where? Somewhere at Hertford, somewhere around there. There's a big
couple.
one.
Yeah, they're opening out more and more because you've got Elstree, you've got Pinewood, which is,
Shepperton.
Yeah, but they're all just getting bigger and bigger, and then
Oh yeah.
Are they merging like all the big car companies and all the supermarkets? Are they merging?
no, I don't think so. I mean,
I thought just
I think they
saving
quite
money.
like to be by themselves, don't
Yeah.
they? Especially
But do certain movie houses produce certain different types of films, or not really?
to a
I
degree.
mean, I don't want to see Weinstein, but it's a good example of like the type.
yeah.
of,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
no,
No,
not
I don't
really.
think. No, not
Just
really.
money.
I think anything can
They'll
be
own
made.
franchises, yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
Who's Marvel? Who do they go with? Who's
so
their
that's
big?
Disney. So that's Disney.
Yeah.
Who were they before?
So that could be at Pinewood
Oh.
usually. I think
Oh,
probably.
England.
Yeah.
So Marvel Films did deals with a few of the different studios before Marvel Films became its own thing and before it was bought by Disney. So, for instance, the first, I think it's the first Iron Man and maybe one of the first origins of the others are with Paramount. That's the reason there isn't and probably won't be for any time soon. A solo Hulk film because it's weird because they're allowed to have Hulk as part of a team up in the other films, but the solo film rights belong to, I think it's Universal, so they did 2 films and they weren't.
Have you written anything? Is there any? Is that in your, oh, you have?
Yeah.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, I met up with an actor that I hadn't seen for a long, long time. And funny enough, we worked together on the bill, and we were good friends at the time. But you do just drift apart from people.
Yeah.
It just happens. You try and look back as to what happened to make us not talk anymore. There wasn't an argument or anything.
Yeah.
Like nothing. I can't
Paying your
think-
bills, working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just life,
carry
isn't it?
yeah. And then he messaged me on Twitter one day and said, "Look, would love to chat to you about a new show that I'm doing or I've written called Cockney Scales."
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Are you a writer on that?
So I'm a writer on that
Oh,
as well.
right,
Yeah.
okay.
So I work with David Easter
Right,
on
yeah.
that. He's the creator of it. He's the genius of
Right.
it. He knows about it all.
Yeah.
I mean, even now it's still being. We made the pilot for it, but it's still being written. And he texts me new stuff every day. And I'm like, how can that happen? How do I not know that is going to happen? So yeah, I'm a writer on that and an exec producer.
What can you tell me about? Because I was a bit confused about what stage it was at.
So the pilot's been made, and it's been
How long
put
is
out
it?
there.
Is it half-
It's an hour.
Oh, it's an hour.
Yeah.
And what is it? It's a drama. Is it
It's got comedy parts. It's
Right,
drama.
okay, I
It's
think I know.
fantasy drama.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's got comedy parts.
And what
It's
can you
got
tell us about it? What's this?
without getting?
I mean,
No,
we know there's a Cockney and there's a Scouser.
But is there?
Oh,
Dum dum dum. That's the twist.
There is, yeah. So the cast-wise, it's David Easter,
Yeah.
Mark Morahan, the lovely Sean Reeves, Stephen Hartley, who was in the bill as well, used to play Tom Chandler, the superintendent.
what is he filmed the pilot?
So we've done the pilot. Fantastic.
has it been
Really,
edited?
it's really, really good, yeah.
And it's an hour
really,
finished?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nobody's seen it yet. We've cast members have seen it, but it's not out there anywhere. There's trailers that have been put out. There's little teasers, but yeah, we don't want to put it out yet.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And then is it the process of kind of contacting people? and
Yeah,
saying,
we hope that it's going to go with one of the big boys, but we'll see.
It works. Just the name. I always think sometimes just the name will get you there. Do you know?
Yeah.
Cockneys and Scouts, that works.
And then funny enough, just before that, I started to put together a production that I'm working on now called Iris.
Yes, I didn't know what that was.
Yeah,
What's
so
about
that is a courtroom style drama. So a little bit like Silk meets. I don't know really.
Who's Iris?
So she's a barrister.
Name
So,
of the person.
yeah,
Okay.
she's the lead in it. I won't give you any more than that because
Yeah.
I'd be
Spoilers.
I'd be doing myself in.
So, are you heading that way, or are you still an actor? Is what?
No, I'm still an actor.
Yeah.
I still enjoy it. I needed some time off. I had, luckily for me, during the pandemic, that allowed me to write, have a think of where I wanted to go. And I'm lucky because I don't sing, I don't dance. So, but I'm lucky that I've done
I thought
voiceovers.
you did sing.
I used to.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
I could get up on. I could
Karaoke.
sing you a
yeah,
song
yeah.
now. But yeah, we won't do that because we want people to listen. But no, I started off singing, but I don't do theatre, so I probably wouldn't do panto. I wouldn't
Right.
do the musicals or anything like that. But I like acting. I do enjoy it. I like producing. That's my new one.
Really? Yeah.
I like doing that. But then I always have done.
Because that's always the hardest job, though. I think, isn't it? Producing.
It's the stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I produced on the pilot for Cockney Scales, and I was pulling my hair out. It's just you take everything on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. The actors, the writing, why the car hasn't turned up that you've booked, or the actor hasn't turned up. The actor didn't know anything about it, and then you're killing the
I
agent.
remember when I
and
did
it was-
the social crime. Bearing in mind, what saved me doing stuff like the pilot and all that, the comedy thing, is I had no bloody idea what I was facing. So that literally
it's the unknown, isn't it?
saved
Yeah, it's
me.
nice.
And there was a time when I'd written the thing and I'd sourced out the locations and I've been going places in the middle of the night and I'm running around picking people up in my car that broke down. So I had to go and hire a car at the last minute and that then fell through. And and I'm picking everyone up, sprinting around. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
this isn't what it's supposed to be.
I'm afraid it is sometimes.
This isn't the
you know?
glamour that I was signed up for.
Yeah, where's the jodhpurs? Where's the assistants? I was thinking,
Where's the lackeys?
yeah, but you go, yeah.
Where's my chair with its name on it?
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So all those things have to benefit acting.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds almost silly to say until you realise, no, it's that simple. Like, if you're just an actor, I mean, you can't call people just an actor.
Nowadays, you've got to have more than than one thing to your bow, because acting now is harder than it was 20 years ago.
Right, yeah.
Because you're battling against all the reality shows.
Well, you're also
Right.
battling against the fact that, you can put on, everyone's now got a phone in their, got a camera in their pocket.
Yeah.
And anyone
Everyone's
can
a
put
production
together
company.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone can just put together, I mean, even, SLRs are kind of relatively cheap. You can get some decent sound.
Yeah.
You can put together something online and put together, your own little web series on YouTube,
What was
which is a good thing, but
Yeah.
it does mean that if you're not the one doing
There's
that,
a lot of noise out
sitting
there.
around,
You need to be
yeah.
creating your own work now, though.
Yeah.
You really
Absolutely.
do.
What sort of films do you like?
Oh,
Are you just going to go for all the classics? Is there nothing?
see, I like British films.
Yeah.
So I'm a Richard Curtis boy. I like a I like all that sort of stuff because they're well made. They're good cast.
What's
well
up
made.
with Danny Boyle?
Danny,
I suppose it's just like everyone. He stopped.
I think he's keeping his head down since he pulled out of Bond.
So what happened there?
He's doing something. He's doing.
Well, hang on, he was supposed to be what Bond?
He was supposed to be directing the new Bond.
Oh
film.
right. How far back? Not in this.
He
one.
was the original. Yeah, no, he was the original director for this Bond film.
Right.
Something happened. Don't know what happened.
Who is
Creative
now?
differences. I think,
Who is now? It is
Kari Fukunaga? I can't say his last name.
Yes.
And who's he?
So he directed on True Detective, I think. He did a lot of like big American TV.
That's it, yeah.
I don't know if this is his first film or...
Do you know what? I think it might be.
Yeah.
Come on, but how do you get that? Doesn't make any sense.
But you think like big American TV shows,
Yeah,
they have
as
those
big as
kind of
films,
massive
aren't they?
budgets.
Do they transfer TV directors? Is it?
Yeah, most like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big.
Yeah, it's probably easier to make film than it is TV.
Yeah.
TV's very fast paced.
Right,
You've
yeah.
got to be there,
Right.
like doing it.
Funny how things have turned, doesn't it, for acting wise? For like, if you used to be on TV compared to a movie film actor,
Yeah.
and now it's like Netflix is just. Is there any?
Consuming everything, isn't it? It's just
Yeah, I mean, you love it, but then you go emotionally. You go, is this healthy for society? Like this gargantuan sort
sitting
of,
there, a big packet of what's it?
because you know human nature.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. It's
Yeah.
trendy, and then when you've got the power. We know where this ends. We've seen 1940. We know when you're unlimited, when you own everything,
Yeah.
human nature kicks in. Corruption. I'm not saying they're corrupt.
Well, I was also going to say like at 1940, like that's
No,
maybe
it's
not the
human
right
nature.
power.
It's
What
always
with
there.
Netflix?
Well, look, let's not compare the two.
They're
of
going
them.
to sweep across the globe, offering you TV shows that you really want.
Yeah.
It's not really.
Sounds like Family.
It's not quite the same, you know.
Oh god.
I watched Ozark in lockdown.
Oh, I've
30
seen that.
episodes, back to hour
30.
episodes. Yeah.
Oh, in lockdown,
was amazing.
Right, yeah. Oh, it was funny with lockdown where we had what's it? The Joe Exotic. What was that called?
Tiger
Oh,
King.
Tiger! I
It was
love
like
that.
it
It
was perfect timing for the lockdown. Just
Oh.
wallop.
I think people would have still like. I think that would have still drawn an audience because you
Yeah,
explain
yeah,
it to
yeah,
someone, you're like, oh, it's about a hillbilly guy who changed his name to Joe Exotic, lives with
You
his
can't
three,
explain it. There's 10
lives with his
stories.
and
three
it's absolutely
husbands
raving
in a-
mental.
Yeah, sing songs about tigers, and then there's murder, and
I
there's
don't
this
think
crazy
there's ever
woman
been
Carol.
anything else where there's so many storylines coming in. Because whenever you think it's done,
Yeah.
something else comes in, and then something on top of that, and you're going, "What?" The
Well, every episode just peels the onion of like, oh, this one that you thought was, you
Yeah,
know,
this.
okay, is actually a scumbag,
Yeah.
and then this one
Yeah.
is also
And
a
then
scumbag.
another
Bring
one.
out the lady that's had her leg savaged off by a tiger.
Yeah, they were the only kind of person that seemed fairly
Normal,
halfway
yeah.
decent.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe the husband with no teeth kind of seemed okay.
Who was gay but not?
Seemed-
No, he
He
wasn't. Yeah, he
seemed
wasn't gay, but he
okay-ish.
had like
It was mad.
yeah, but it was just again, it
Married.
was just one of those. Yeah, now he's married, he's got a kid, and he was sleeping with all the women that worked at the park. But you're just like, well, whatever.
It's like Jeremy Kyle, the film, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Doesn't make him a necessary. He's not like an evil. You know, he's not like Joe Exotic ordering hits on people, and Carol maybe
Oh,
allegedly,
poor old
possibly.
Carol Baskin,
just,
Jesus.
just feel the lawyers coming.
She got his zoo in the end, didn't she? In the court case.
She got because it went from Joe to I can't believe we talk
That
about
other guy. Yeah.
went to the other guy who was also called Joe, I believe,
Right.
and then because he
Fake millionaire sort of.
well, it's because Joe Exotic had transferred the deeds to his mum. It was a clearly obvious way to avoid.
Yeah.
You know, you just move the assets
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
to stop, so that when someone sues you, they get.
But it doesn't
nothing.
work, does it? They just take
Yeah,
it back
you
off
can't,
her.
yeah.
Yeah, because so then it went to the mum's name, then to him. So
Yeah.
they used the mum as a proxy, as a go between.
Yeah.
But then he had to give it back. So I believe Carol does have it now. I don't know if the park is still.
But is it even a business?
Well, I think the park has closed, but the cats are with her and her weird.
I
She
can
got
see a load
away.
of drunk teenagers going to see. Where's Carol?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I'm sure she must have
Singing the song outside the gates.
Carol.
Yeah, she'll have people
And she's
like
just got
outside.
that glazed look over her eyes in every photograph.
She'd just be like, "Hi, are you cool cat?"
Oh God, it's so horrendous. It's so horrible.
Oh, did you see the one where somebody had sent in a request? You know these video
Oh,
things.
God, yeah.
And they'd sent the Rolf. Could you wish Rolf Harris or one of those
Yeah.
a very happy birthday? My dad, my uncle, or something.
to her.
That keeps happening loads. It's become like a real trend. I think because British celebrities just aren't as famous. So when they do wrong, it doesn't. The fact that no one in America knows who Jimmy Savile or Rolf Harris is.
There was another one.
Yeah, but Fred.
The Australian Fred and Rose West.
That was amazing. I mean, it shouldn't be funny,
It's
and we're
dark.
not
But it's
laughing
dark
about
humour. Yeah.
what their crimes were, but it was just the fact that
They have no clue who they are.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
How in the dark they are.
Just
some
mocking
Australian chat
celebrities.
show, and they sent in like, "Oh, can you wish my parents like a happy wedding anniversary?"
Here they
It was
are
a
in the
pic-
70s.
Yeah, a picture of
I love
Fred and
people,
Rose
they're
West.
just-
Well, this happened with Walkers. They had to stop it. It's so bad, and it even happened recently. But they ran a campaign where if you sent in a picture, Walkers, who would do the top and tail sponsor, would do the sponsors in and out of each ad break, and it would be that these people holding cards would then hold up a card of your face, and it was all just like the Yorkshire Ripper, Fred West, Shipman, all these kind of people. And then even when it was lockdown and when fans couldn't go to games, they would have virtual crowds, so they would superimpose pictures, and they were meant to be intentionally crude, but it would just be like a little stick man with then a photo of a head.
Face it was,
So Osama bin Laden was on there, Shipman, the meme of the very well endowed black gentleman that went round. I can't really describe. Basically, it was the equivalent of Rickrolling. Like what Rickrolling is. So Rickrolling is where you go to look something up on YouTube, and then you click on the link, and instead of being what you think, it's Rick Astley singing
Clickbait.
So it would be him saying "Never Gonna Give You Up," and there was a meme that went around during lockdown. I've absolutely no idea why particularly. That you would get something. A common thing was to say, have you seen this news about coronavirus? There's a new strand, whatever, and you would pick it up. You would open it up, and it was a picture of a naked black man.
Right.
Sat on the,
And the other ones with the noises as well. From
of sex
adult
noises.
Who's
films,
benefiting from that?
Just for a laugh. It's just to catch
right.
it. I mean, usually
You open that in office though.
on the
see.
train.
Yeah.
It's like Schadenfreude, really. That's
Yeah,
just some
it's
evil
just
that
if you
goes
can
around
get
the
your
world.
friend, but it just really. So he ended up in the pictures in these stadiums. It's just you can't trust the British public. I mean, that's how you end up with.
But it's all so deep, isn't it? It's in there. Like we hide stuff. Like even with Gavin and Stacey, their names are West and Shipman. I didn't realize I didn't realize that until recently. The Shipmans and West.
Yeah.
And there are others in there as well. There are the Sutcliffes, which is Dawn and Pete that live next door to the Sutcliffes. So it is the Sutcliffes, the West, and the Shipmans. That's a hidden
Christ.
dark
Yeah.
British
That's a
humour.
weird thing to do on the sitcom.
It did all right though.
I wonder if it's maybe something they just wrote in the that you never find out what their surname is in the script, as in it's never spoken aloud, but you had to write it in the script. And
Yeah,
then
maybe.
in the same way that in Withnail and I, his name is Marwood, but you never hear the name Marwood being but so in the script they couldn't just write I says this, I does that. They had to have Marwood. Yeah,
bloody. I love people, but they're mental.
It's the British humour. I think there's something no other country would be like. Oh, serial killers, lol.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back to acting. I had to say my throat. Right, let me just get this out of the way. There's not a problem with the audio. I'm just blame Creme. So I spent a lot of time the other day arguing, but I did it when I dehydrated, so my voice is going. So that's
Who
why
were
I
you
sound like
arguing
Kermit
with?
the Frog.
Can I
Just
guess?
people.
Oh, okay.
Well, people I know.
Just all people, just in the street.
Oh,
He's a very
get
angry
sucked
person,
in.
isn't
I
he?
get sucked in. No, I'm trying. It's not even. I'm trying to enlighten you, and you're not understanding.
I know, I
and
just
don't know
like
what
to-
else to do. I can't talk to you like you're a child. But you said you just come from Leicester Square.
Yeah.
What have you been doing there? Can you say
No.
nothing at all?
No, nothing.
Is that because you can't say what you were doing, or you were
You've
just
been
hanging out?
acting.
Yeah, any of it.
Oh, okay. Oh,
You've been acting.
Yeah.
Serious, this is.
Yeah.
England, English.
Maybe.
Okay. No, there's nothing else I can.
No.
No, you can't. You're very good at the. You're very good at the. No, I can't say anything. Poker face.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh.
He's being directed to sit in.
So you're
Just moving straight on from that then.
what
Yeah,
agent?
anyway.
What agent
we
are you
can't-
with?
I'm with London Casting Group
Oh, London. How long you been with them?
since I created London Casting Group about 4 years ago.
Oh, geez, I didn't realise.
Mm.
Co-created.
No, created.
Oh, goddamn.
Started it and took on a load of my friends.
Do
because-
podcasts have agents?
I mean, probably as in the people on the podcast probably have
Yeah.
an agent for other things.
Yeah, the acts or.
Well, if you had multiple
depends.
like this, if you had, can you promote?
You
They're
probably
not
have
that big enough.
Probably have like
It's
a
not
PR. Well, no, it's not that. It's like, what do you need an agent for?
Yeah,
But why does anyone need an agent?
a booker maybe. You could.
Yeah.
You probably have a booker.
What's the difference?
Um, What is the difference?
A booker.
Well, a booker is
they
they're the ones going out, whereas
Yeah.
an agent would be coming in saying,
Yeah.
would be contacting us saying, can my actor appear on your podcast?
Oh, they're
and
like
do
a
an
buffer.
There's a lot more
sort
to it.
out
Yeah,
the work.
yeah.
Yeah. So an agent's there to represent you. So
Go over contracts and all that sort of stuff.
Right, yeah. It's the paper, it's the legal side of things.
Yeah.
Oh,
unless
okay.
you're Bill Murray, in which case you don't have an agent.
We was talking before. Is there a new Ghostbusters out?
There's one coming. I mean, again, everything. The whole film schedule.
There's one with the 3 chicks. There's
Yeah.
one with kids. Is there a new one?
Kids one is there?
The new one
Or-
has
what's
kids
the
in it,
kids?
so it's the new one's got.
People
It's
saying
not.
it was good. People saying it's.
Yeah, it's meant to be. Apparently, it's really fun, but it's only had a few preview kind of screenings. It's not out yet, so
It's not like the kids of the Ghostbusters or something.
No,
like
I
that.
think it's the
Some
I think
link
the
back to the
children
older
are
group.
the grandchildren of
Oh, there you go.
but they're just it's got the kids and it's got both generations in it.
Oh,
I
nice.
think it's something
Even
that
Bill Murray.
I don't.
I
know.
like him.
Yeah,
He's good, isn't he?
I
It's
don't
just
know
got
if
to the
they
point where I
appear
think
in
he
it.
doesn't give a damn, so he'll do something interesting. Do you know what I mean?
But I don't know the full details, and I believe they're all. I mean, obviously, apart from Harold Ramis, who's dead in it, but I think it's Paul Rudd is one of the main characters in it, and
Right.
that Harold Ramis was meant to be. So they're still recognizing all of that. So it's his father, and I think it's that everything for whatever reason it's all shut down. We'll find out in the film, I guess, and it's all buried in a field, on their land and whatnot, and then they find Ecto 1, and that just opens
Oh, right, yeah.
the whole thing.
Do you go to the cinema much?
I try to.
Have you been back since everything?
I go at least once a year for my girlfriend's birthday. It's a thing we have to do. And
Shout
go
out to who?
to Katie.
Okay.
She makes me go and watch some crap horror film. Her birthday's in October, so it's the day before Halloween.
Come on.
We go and watch whatever.
Does she like a horror?
She
likes a horror.
She
film?
watches the most horrendous stuff on telly. She likes to watch these murder documentaries.
Oh, right.
But I'll go into that more in a minute. But yeah, so we go and watch this film every year, Happy Death Day or just whatever, and then we go and have a Nando's, which is the worst restaurant in the world. It is absolute.
Yeah.
I won't swear.
I guess
know the appeal.
we'll cancel that Nando's sponsorship deal then.
He's just putting a letter.
You know,
in the
whatever.
bottom.
But Toblerone, let me tell you about Toblerones.
Yeah, Toblerone and Bollinger.
I don't know who eats Toblerone. I don't know why they're so. You can't
What?
eat a Toblerone.
You
I
don't-
like
you
them.
like them?
You snap off a bit.
It's too much hard work. Like a brick.
Just
Yeah, I don't want to get a drill out just to break the bloody things apart.
You just let it.
They
go.
should. There should be like a small
They do small ones, and they do the little bite size. They do.
who
the
wants
little-
those ones though?
bite size.
What, the ones that are already broken for you?
No, you get ones that are they're about the size of
Like party pack ones.
This isn't, but they're like celebration size.
I
ones.
had a Kit Kat a couple of weeks ago, and so I don't have chocolates for months. And sometimes I think, let me just look, because I'll have like an ice cream every now and again. I'll open it, knowing what's coming. Just the size has just
of it.
dropped. And this Kit Kat, you can never prepare yourself by how small it's got. I thought this has got thinner and smaller.
Yeah.
This is now, when I was growing up, this is now the party size that they're charging you triple for.
Basically.
They've got you down to the party size.
It's like a Magnum. The Magnum ice creams are now the size of the mini ones.
Yeah,
that were meant to be like, oh, it's a naughty treat. If you're watching your figure, have a little one like this.
My
And now
favourite
that's
one was
standard.
the Feast, because I love the Feast
I love
ice
a
creams.
Feast.
And used to get the chocolate on the inside. Well, when I was younger, that chocolate was quite big, so the ice cream is now the size of the chocolate, and the chocolate inside barely covers the
It is
stick.
just a scam. Well, it's like
barely covers the stick.
it's like Quality Street tins, and they show you that like someone did a by side comparison, and you're like, it's not even half as small. It's
Yeah.
absolutely
Crisps as well.
Yeah.
Open in
half
a packet.
I mean, chocolate bars used to be, they were like a meal thing. It was like that would do you. Now it's, but I don't know where they're making the money, because they then made the party bag, the bigger bags, cheaper.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they're losing and when they're gaining.
Confusing.
I don't know if it's to make you eat more. Because listen, I'm like most blokes. I don't buy one. If I buy a pack of something, the whole lot's going down. A Jaffa Cake box.
Oh, that's gone.
That's one
Yeah,
Jaffa
Jaffa
Cake to
cakes,
me.
yeah.
Who opens? If I say, I know,
And they're like, 4 cakes is one serving.
they-
You're like, get in the bin, mate. 4 packs is one serving.
oh, servings are laughing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
That's actually comedic.
Yeah.
But I've seen somebody open up and take a Jaffa Cake and put it back and thinking, what are you doing? Like what? That
What?
was
And
never-
they ate one and half ate it.
No, ate one Jaffa and put the pack away. That doesn't even exist in my world. What are you talking? Get that pack home. Rip the.
Was
pack.
that
My nan
normal?
was tight like that. She would open the biscuit tin and say, "I'll take one." Take one.
Yeah. Well, that's your nan's classy. That's the thing. But like, if you're opening the packet, throw everything in the bin.
Everything.
Get them out. They're going down. There might be 1 or 2 left after forcing, but one pack that's one meal.
I'm a nightmare.
I can't remember who it was. There was a comedian. It was a clip I saw recently, actually, and they were talking about the difference between people. Is that, there's those who get one biscuit out of the pack, pop it on a plate, have it with their tea, and then there's normal people like that. I think they said that those people are psychopaths, and then there's the rest of us who will just eat the whole pack and they might just remember to take the wrapper off before the whole pack's gone in their gob.
Yeah, so maybe it's to do with like the American thing where the bag's just getting bigger. They want you to force more into you. The little ones, they don't want you to eat technically. They want you to get the bigger packs and get used to the amount of sugar. That's what I think it is. Always comes down to money. Whatever it is, like Colombo. It always comes down to who's benefiting here. Yeah. And that's the only thing I can think. Why would they make them smaller and more expensive, the single ones, but make the bigger packs
because it's bigger, more money, it's less, more, they can make more of them and still make the same amount.
But I think it's more about getting you addicted to the bigger bulk of eating sugar. Do you know what I mean? I think it's
all part of big sugar.
That's just my chart line.
No, I think that works. I think they just let's get them onto the big packs. Because to them it's more. Is it more headache to produce the little ones and sell them individually?
I think you're overthinking it. I think they're just being greedy.
I think you're underestimating the evil in the world. That's what I think.
I think they're thinking, look,
you're not thinking global
some
enterprise.
evil genius out there.
If we can increase the price, if we can double the price and half the size of the thing and still sell the same amount, why not?
Oh, sugar. Somebody said to me, they said in the future, the dietitian, she said, it will be classed as a toxin. And people will say, how did you give that to your kids? Because the downsides of sugar are so big, like the inflammation, the just the spiking of the sugar level, the glucose. It's so bad. So we have just
come on, chocolate is so good. Come on.
Yeah, it'd have to be just the speakeasies with chocolates.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like most things, just have it in moderation. I don't have chocolate in my house because otherwise I will just gorge.
Yeah.
So it will be a case of I'll get it if I'm out as a kind of thing, not to have like any time you make, because it's so easy. You make like
if I go to somebody's house and they've got like a box of like the Quality Street, you go, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
you're just dead for a week. That's all going in a few days. You go from one day to the next.
Days. Yeah.
Until you're basically going to throw up, and then you might give it away, but then you'll go and buy another one 2 days later after that.
Christmas, I love November because they all come out, don't they? All the tins of everything.
They started coming out. It gets earlier and earlier now, isn't it? I had my first mince pie as well.
Did you?
When?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
I don't give a shit, do they? Just get it in there.
I love a Christmas pudding. Yeah. You get the little ones and just
This is quality content. We're just talking about our dietary.
Yeah, but we've got a captive audience now because everyone's got sitting down eating their chocolate. Listening
everyone's
to the show.
getting in the car off to Sainsbury's.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, including me, funny enough. So what have you been doing that's coming up that you can talk about? What have you been doing recently?
With Cockney Scales, hopefully that'll be out soon. So we'll continue making that.
Yeah,
as a
but
series.
You said you've just done the pilot. Are you looking for it to be made?
Oh yeah, there's 10 episodes.
So how do you know it's out soon?
Because it will be out soon.
So it's been picked up.
It will be picked up.
What production company did you go with?
I'm not telling you.
Yeah, you better not actually. Yeah.
I was going to say, there's so much you can't. I think it was Cillian Murphy was asked because he'd done the first 2 Batman films.
Yeah.
And then someone said, Are you going to be in the third one? He goes, I signed an NDA. I can't tell you. It's like, well, that's yes then. They wouldn't sign you.
I'll tell you what I am doing at the moment, which is quite interesting. I can't go into it too much because it really is I'm on eggshells with it. But for learning how to be a barrister or learning how that way of life is,
and this is for Iris
within the bar.
We're supposed to have a barrister coming on here.
Really?
Yeah.
I have spent the last 2 weeks at the Old Bailey.
Oh, that's cool.
On a murder trial.
Oh.
You also, I don't know if you did you do the police one? I thought that you went. Did you actually go and spend time with them?
Oh, I spent loads of time with the police. Yeah, for different roles over the years. Yeah.
So the bar. I mean, when you go into court, it's enough depressing, isn't it? It's that weird.
I've never been.
Do you know what though? I'm sitting on the barrister's bench with them.
Oh right. How'd you get into there?
Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, surely you can look from behind. What you've actually got onto the.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So there's 2. So you've got where the judge is. Then you've got where the clerk is, and then you've got the barristers. So there's two benches, and I'm on the one.
I'm surprised you were there. They just didn't. Just sit.
Yeah, no. A friend of mine said, "Do you want to come and be a pupil at my chambers?"
Oh, right. Okay.
So I'm learning how to.
So it's like you're doing the job. It's not like you're sitting there.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there typing things into my computer. I'm going to do that, and you watch them being cross-examined, and all the evidence is coming out, and you're like, oh God, here we go.
Is it fairly? I mean, obviously you can't go into detail. Is it fairly cut and dry kind of murder? A case, or is it quite?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
How long has it been going on?
So this is its fifth. So
Oh,
it will
God.
start. This is six weeks.
You said it's at the Old Bailey?
It's at the Old Bailey.
Oh,
Yeah.
Christ. Oh,
And you're seeing people coming in and out, people that you know as well off the telly, footballers
driving,
in and
yeah.
out. Yesterday, when I was in, there was tons of press outside yesterday, and it was the first appearance of the guy that had shot that police officer in custody. So they got him in and shot the sergeant, Matthew,
When was this?
during lockdown.
Have you heard about this?
Police sergeants, they arrested this guy,
Yeah.
got him into a holding cell, searched him, got him up to the desk, and he shot.
He still had a
police
gun on
officer.
him?
Yeah, he had it.
Didn't say, oh,
Secreted
yeah.
in his
Jesus Christ.
in his trousers. Killed the police officer.
That does ring a bell
very
now.
sadly.
God, was that only in lockdown?
Yeah, that was
Oh, yeah.
not even a year ago. Yeah,
Yeah, I do remember it now. Once
Very
you said
sad.
that they got to the desk, yeah.
Croydon, I
But
think
what
that
was the benefit of pulling the gun out and shooting him? I mean, surely it wasn't being done for
Was
murder.
he,
at
was
the
he
time.
trying to do death by cop?
No,
You don't really get
They
that
don't
in this
carry
country.
guns.
I don't know.
Well,
He was shot himself. I think a lot of it's been blocked out, but I think he shot himself as well. He had injuries. He was in
okay.
hospital for a very long time after.
It's mental health. Then.
I mean, some people are just scumbags, you know.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like,
God,
you know,
yeah,
some
the
people-
world is full of
yeah.
scumbags, but there is a lot of mental. When I
Yeah,
when I
that's
did
something
research and I went out with the police, and there was no bar held with them. I went in like a police officer, stab vest, and went in on a raid.
And what do they say? They say just sit there, do not get out.
No. They say we get our heads kicked in.
Oh, right.
Help.
Oh, right. Yeah,
And I
don't
did.
just sit on it, yeah.
I remember one of my very first jobs, which still haunts me now. I went to a crash on the M1, horrible crash.
Yeah.
And I won't go into too many details, but 2 lorries had crashed into a minibus,
Forget it.
killed
Bloody
like
hell.
8 people. And I was doing CPR at 3-4 o'clock in the morning on just people that were dying. They were so, okay, you're gonna have to move on to the next person as quick as that, because somebody else is dying whilst that person's dead. It sounds horrible, but if you can still save a life once somebody's gone, it's
Yeah, I mean, without being cruel, there's no point doing CPR on someone who's dead while
and
someone else has still got a
it's
chance.
horrendous. I mean, I've got all the admiration for the police.
I don't know if we said on the last podcast when I was talking to 2 paramedics for about an hour, and I was saying, how do you get used to that? Like, he said, you do get used to stuff. He said, the problem is there's always new things. Like
You
somebody
learn how
died,
to deal with it.
dead body, then it's this, then it's a kid, then it's maybe it's a baby. He said, whenever there's a
always
new
gonna be
thing, you
something
see,
crazy,
your brain
yeah.
goes, oh, Jesus Christ again. And you go, you should be on 5 times the wage.
Oh.
And I'm not trying to be funny or clever. It's offensive.
Yeah.
It's actually.
I agree.
I don't get why are you doing it. Like, tell them to go F themselves for the wage you're getting. That is absolutely disgraceful.
But that's
and
what
then,
they rely
and then
on.
to go, by the way, we are going to give you a pay rise. So brace yourselves, 1%.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you
Well,
got to fight for
that's-
that. You got to
And
fight
then that
for
was
that.
what, and then that was wiped out by the inflation rise, wasn't it? So it made it. They basically, I think they ended up with less
Joke.
money
Absolute
now
joke.
because. But yeah, I mean, I know. Sorry, that seemed very flippant. What I mean is that that's just what they rely on. They rely on the fact that these people do it because they love it, because that's the only reason you
so
would do.
offensive. It's
Yeah,
just-
You've got to
yeah.
enjoy the job though to do that. If you didn't enjoy it and you weren't getting paid what you
Yeah.
deserved, then the country would just be
What other training have you done that have you got to do? You police, the barrister. Have you done anything else that you've had to train for? Or was that just those 2? You didn't fancy
No.
taking up the police. You didn't get like the taste for it. The
Do you know
chase
what?
or
I always
anything?
wanted to be a copper before
right.
I was an actor.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do it, and I always think to myself now, do you know, would I want to do that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Now.
it's very
Yeah,
different from
now.
like,
Yeah.
I would want to do it.
exciting TV dramas. And
No, I
then
said a friend of
otherwise-
mine's become a copper, and she said, it's not like you think where you do something and then you've got to go and write a report. She said, you're talking 4 hours of paperwork for a single thing. So you end up not doing something. 'cause you go,
My
I don't
best
wa-
mate,
I
he
wanna
works
go
in child
home.
protection, and the paperwork is unreal.
Yeah.
Just absolutely.
She said you won't understand the amount of paperwork I'll do. It's not
Oh,
like
well,
just write out the full.
the jury bundles for this case that we're working on at the Bailey are this thick.
It's mental.
They are that thick,
Yeah.
and there's just, but it's everything that goes with it. It's the whole life of either side. You know, the person that was murdered, the defendant,
Yeah.
and all the evidence that goes
Every
with it.
detail.
Sometimes there might not be anything in there that's relevant to that, but how do we know it's not relevant until we
Yeah,
get halfway
yeah.
through the case?
Just even single words are important. Like, oh my god. Do you how did you start getting into acting? Did you always want to do it?
No, not at all, really.
When did it kick in? Is it a school thing? Is it?
So I liked acting at school because it was just an hour of just pissing about. It was just, and especially if you've got a supply teacher as well. Oh my God, a supply drama teacher. He is getting terrorised, absolutely terrorised. Loved it. And I loved singing. I liked being, I was the class clown at school. I still am now.
Was there any trained singing
now.
or you had the voice?
No, didn't train, just sort of sung as a kid and then got into it. And then I was part of a church choir as well.
Nice.
And I used to get paid for that. Used to
Paid
get paid for
for it?
singing at weddings.
Paid for? Oh, right. Okay.
But-
right. I was going to say.
Yeah, but we used to get, it wasn't a lot of money, I don't think.
So
I love that.
What at schooling, were you like fully acting creative, or did you enjoy school?
Hate school.
Yeah, just being tortured
Hated
by
it.
being there. Yeah.
Hated it. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew by the time I got to sort of 15 that I wanted to entertain in some way. I didn't know what. I didn't know whether it was an actor, a presenter, singer.
So did you do your GCSEs or whatever?
No.
You
Got kicked out. Got kicked out during my GCSEs. No GCSEs whatsoever.
Nice.
None.
School to me was actually a punishment.
Yeah,
I'm not being funny.
Yeah.
It was
A lot
like,
of
why
people
is this being done to me? I don't know why I'm here. This is like every day's a struggle.
Like prison. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you left school, what happened? What were the transition jobs? And whatnot?
A week later, I got a little part in the bill, which then triggered me in to go and do EastEnders.
So, it's 15, 16?
16, yeah.
Oh, you didn't go from like work for Woolworths?
No.
Okay.
I've never ever worked for somebody.
No.
Swear to
So
God.
it kicked
I've
in straight
never,
away.
Ever
So
worked.
did you
for
have an
somebody.
agent or anything?
Yeah.
Hang on. So you're at school.
So I was at school.
You're doing little bits, you're
joined
enjoying
a little
it.
agent.
Sylvia Young
Just-
pop up somewhere?
No, potentially
Surely.
somewhere. I think I did. Wherever I did some bits. It's so long.
Right,
So
okay,
long ago.
yeah.
So much happened in the last. What am I? 34 now.
I was going to say, there's not that many years. It's not. I thought you were
It's
saying
like-
you're
it's a long
60.
time, but
There's nearly 20 years.
But it's 20 years. But a lot. I've got 2
We've done-
kids now.
Well,
So
right,
I've got
okay.
2 kids, and I've got a son on the way in November.
Oh, congratulations.
congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
So you left school, you didn't know what to do. Then what happened?
Got the part in the bill. Went to Enders and then moved on. Moved on doing bits and bits. Still living at home till I was about 18. But I
Did
was
you ever do
earning
Crime Watch?
Good money. No,
Because that's a normal classic.
Yeah, no, I never did Crime Watch. No. But I'd like to have done that actually. 'cause
That
that's
was one that everyone,
I feel like I've missed out
everyone
now,
I know
yeah.
who was an
Yeah.
actor did like a little thing, you know,
Reconstruction.
oh, here I am. Watch me in 9:30. I'll be stabbing an old lady.
I did
balaclava on. It was just the eyes.
Yeah. I did know somebody years ago who appeared on Crime Watch.
Not as a reconstruction,
But not as the- as the photo
Why
fit.
does that not surprise me?
Well, I knew of him. That's what I'm saying.
No, I knew
um,
of him. It's changed now. Look.
We're some celebrity.
Is Crime Watch still going?
No, it got axed.
Did it?
Yeah, I'm sure it got axed. That and
morbid
what was the other one?
Because they're the Crime Watch Roadshow kind of one, didn't
They
they?
did that, but then what was the
Crime
other one with all the
Roadshow.
scam companies that
Oh,
Watchdog? Yeah, I
Watchdog,
think
oh.
that went as well, didn't it? I think.
I'm surprised that's gone. We're a
think
country
those-
of complainers.
But then
so-
there's a Joe Lycett one now, so they put a comedy
Oh,
side to
yeah,
it, which
yeah.
is very good.
oh really?
Joe
so he
Lycett
does.
did
Yeah,
that,
he does. They're kind of almost like pranks on people. So, for example, or not pranks,
the
but
Watchdog was a serious.
yeah,
thing.
I mean, it's odd that as well as a public. You think BBC public service broadcaster that
Yeah.
things like Crime Watch, Watchdog would carry on ad
But
infinitum.
Rogue Traders, which was a bit within side that still exists on the one
Yeah,
show. So
That's his own
it's
thing.
Still,
Is it still
yeah,
going
it's
as
still
a
like a 10-minute segment on
Because
that.
at one point that was its own show, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
he'd go off on his motorbike and go and knock on some
Does
builder's
he still have his
door.
little? Is it still the same guy of?
Matt.
No. But I mean the guy on the bike who would always be his dry little. He never did anything apart from be on the. But he was the bike rider that took him to all these places.
Oh no, I don't think I ever saw that.
Then maybe that's in the old version.
What So what did you do in EastEnders? The first job you had when you was a kid?
Played a character called Simon, which was Alfie Moon's friend. Wasn't a huge role. It was nice.
Spoken.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
But it was nice to
Is Shane
start off
Ritchie
with
nice?
that. He's lovely. He's really
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, he's Shane Ritchie. He's
It's always though you worry because he seems like a nice, happy, affable chap.
some
and
people
then-
you get they do. You can tell that's a normal person.
I
you
You
know
know
sense it.
what?
so.
I've always said this, and I've met a lot of people over 20, however many years it is now. A lot of really famous people, and it's always the ones, the big stars are fine. They got nothing to prove.
Yeah, true.
Most of the time, they are genuinely nice. The soap people, the actors, the serial drama actors, great. It's the reality people.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
Well, it's that sort of, they know they don't deserve it, so there's an anger. Do you know what I mean? I shouldn't make beer, so I hate everyone.
Yeah, I hate everyone until I get found out. Yeah, it's one of those, yeah.
It's the insecurity of like, I know I'm not that great. So to go back to, so you're 15, 16.
Yeah.
What else happened? What happened then?
Did a film called Mrs. Henderson Presents, which I was a sailor in. Enjoyed that so much. So much got cut from that film as well, not just for me, but for other people. I just remember them setting up huge scenes. And then you watch it and go, well, where's that then? And then sadly Bob Hoskins died. He was the nicest guy. Was
that his last? Or he did that horse racing one, didn't he? I think maybe.
No, I don't think it was his last, because that was 2004. And I think, when did he die? I think he's 5 years ago. It might have been longer than that. But Judi Dench was in that, Christopher Guest. So it was big. Right. You know, Stephen Frears was directing just before his Oscar. Will Young was in it, yeah. Kelly
singer.
Riley, he's very good.
Yeah, he took quite a few years off, didn't he, to focus. I think now he does both, as it were. But I think he took quite a long time to focus on just acting. And he is actually quite good, I thought.
Have you done anything overseas?
I did I've done radio and bits, and sort of spoke about doing stuff when I was out there last.
Oh, you have been out there?
Yeah, I went to LA and I like it here. So much goes on here,
it's
and
a weird place, LA.
It's very bizarre.
You've got to have the
Hollywood
right personality
itself.
for it, otherwise it's just going to grate after a while.
Yeah, I mean, I got to Hollywood and it stunk for a start. I thought, right, okay, here we go. This is what it stinks.
Yeah.
And it made London look like a nice place for me to be.
I remember when I was over there, somebody said, you can't be in Hollywood after night. Like, it goes downhill. You've got to get, it's not a nice place to
Got to get back to your compound.
I went to the Hooters in there.
Did you?
I mean, I just felt embarrassed.
How did your audition go?
Yeah. But I just thought,
what was you doing? A Pitbull lookalike?
No, I was with there. I was with there with a girl.
Genius.
To be fair, she said, "Look, I know you want to go to here," and we went. And I was just like looking up.
I never thought about. I'm just still thinking about Pitbull lookalike.
I'm from Britain. Can you put some clothes on? Well, like,
are they naked in Hooters?
No, but
Hooters
they might as well. They've got the white. I don't know what you call them, belly
white
top
t-shirt.
thing.
Oh, was it? Oh, I thought it was
with the little owl on.
I can't remember
what it is.
But I just remember
I'm
thinking,
so boring and normal.
Like, you know why I'm in here, but I'm not in here for that. Like, so I don't know what I'm doing here.
I mean, you're not in there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I don't know if I should feel guilty or not. So I just end up talking about
I think
life.
as long as you behave respectfully.
Yeah, but it's not a respectful
it's
situation.
It's called Hooters, not Honkers. Like, don't, leave them alone. Don't
That's
touch
the lower version.
Yeah, exactly. There probably is one. But like, you don't, hands to yourself. I'm sure it's
And
all right.
I was there thinking, I don't know why I came in here. There's supposed to be an experience, but this is just embarrassing for everyone. But,
it's the kind of place I go and like have a beer and then leave. I don't think I would even go. I try to think.
I don't think I could do that. I think
it's like, I've never been to a strip club, even though a friend of mine worked at one.
Yeah.
And I can't do that. That's not in my DNA to go, oh, hi, and go, oh, I don't know where to look. This is
I've been 3 times in my life. One was I was dating a girl who was a stripper.
You wanted to make sure you definitely
No way.
Yeah, it was only like she just said like this is what it is, but it was fine. I didn't give a shit because she was doing that before we'd met.
It's fine, yeah.
It was and we only dated a little while. One time was just randomly in Malta. I was there with someone. We were all like walking around. We met a friend, that kind of thing. There was just a big group of us. And I can't even remember how it came up. I think there was just a misunderstanding about someone pointing out that there was a strip club.
Yeah.
And her thinking, oh, we wanted to go in.
Yeah.
So she took us all in and we stood there. And the women kind of draped themselves on, looped their arms through.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, where's my silk dressing
This is not
gown?
happening in a normal
And then it was
nightclub.
like, so thanks. And then we all left like complete wimps.
What is this? What is the deal here? What are we supposed to do? I'm not getting at me money, I'll tell you that.
I did. Well, I went on a stag do and this is years back it was. And there, I did pay for a dance there, as it were. But I know I felt
How
like,
much?
I don't know. I think it was so transactional. So I was like, well, it's £10 for this, or £10.
Did you get out your traveller's checks?
Yeah, exactly. I've got my little bag of. I've got about like the little thing with coins in. Yeah, bum bag. You were there.
I was.
And I can't remember. It was something like 10 quid for 4 minutes or 20 quid for 8 minutes or whatever. And then,
what do you get?
What do you even do?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, you sit in the back and then they take their clothes off.
Yeah, but no, I mean, what
do
do
you
you
mean you
do
sit
when
in the
they're
back?
doing whatever they're doing to you?
You just sit in the back and
Do you just sort of clap? Or something very nice.
It's really awkward. It was really weird as well because it was.
Yeah.
There were loads of like. I assumed you'd all be like curtained off, kind of almost like a changing room style.
Yeah.
Thing. So you're just watching some other bloke getting a dance in the corner.
But you've paid for that.
Yeah. So then
I
she
thought that was
dances.
a private dance.
Yeah, but in the back.
You strike me as someone that would leave a TripAdvisor review as well.
I
bet you
was
would.
Yelp.
Yeah.
It was
I was
really
thoroughly
odd.
annoyed.
The thing I found oddest about it was that I was just like, whatever. We're here to see, whatever's in the strip club. Fine. The guys who were married were the ones who were most.
Yeah.
The first lady who came
Well,
up
they're
and
the
said,
most
"Do you want to
desperate
dance?"
for sex. That's why.
Probably.
They're married.
There was, for the avoidance of doubt, there was absolutely no sex there was absolutely no sex in this strip club. It wasn't one of those, and it wasn't like, oh, come to the back for a private dance in inverted commas. It was genuinely,
okay.
it was genuinely a private dance.
Right.
I think there was no touch. They were very strict, like you don't touch them
Because you're not allowed to touch them. are you?
No, I don't think so. I think because one of the guys there had said like he'd lived in Australia for a little while, and there they can full on just gyrate on top of you and whatever and do, anyhow. So I just, because they come, I was surprised how kind of not aggressive in the sense of like they were yelling at you, but it was very like straight up into, do you want to dance kind of thing, like a little bit of small talk, obviously, to try and pretend that whatever. But it was very like, as soon as they've come out the thing with the dance, then they're on to the next bloke. I mean, I guess that's how you make, that's how
A
you
friend
do
that
it.
was can I say where it is? Well, anyway, so it's
Say what it rhymes with.
It's the one anyway in London.
That one.
Yeah, and he was a
Spearmint
doorman there.
Rhino?
Oh, don't say no, not that one. The one with the other fella. I'll just
He's
leave.
dead. It's Stringfellows. He's dead. He's
Oh.
dead now.
Yeah. Anyway,
You can't slander a dead
is it
person.
still there?
I don't think
the
that-
brand.
There's
It's still
not
there.
slant.
It's
Oh,
still
can
there.
you?
But he was just talking about the girls because he was there every week, and I used to see him on the weekends. And he said, "You've never seen anything like it." The greed. He said, "You've never seen anything like it."
And you'll
Had
be
him in the greed. What is
Of the girls, he
Yeah.
said, "I have to push them away from it. Like I have to get involved. They don't give a flying
Fight
F
'em.
about me." Said the things they're doing
sort of fighting over punters
to get the punter, and because it's that club, you're getting all the top fellas in there.
It's
Constantly.
amazing
Oh,
who
I
you
guess
see
so,
in
yeah.
there as well.
Yeah, it's everyone at some point goes in there. Hollywood stars come down and they want this part closed off. So when you get those girls, then they don't give a damn that you're a security. They want to get, and they know that if they can just get the attention, usually they go. So they're pushing you in. He said, I have to hold them back. And he said, they're pushing me, and because that's a few grand.
The
in your
money is the
pocket.
root,
Just-
isn't it?
Yeah.
But the things they would do. One was pickpocketing customers. They knew when they were drunk, they could sit on them and put their hand here.
Wasn't that a film recently with Jennifer Lopez in?
That wouldn't surprise me.
I think there was a film about.
You watched it, obviously.
No, it hasn't. Apparently, it's quite good. Yeah. No. I
Oh yeah, I'm
haven't.
sure it's quality.
No, apparently, like jokes aside, genuinely, apparently, like the reviews were like, "Oh, we expected this to be kind of trash." I think that's
Yeah.
the general consensus. Yeah, there was just an excuse
No,
to
I
see.
like her.
But I don't think anyone gets. It's like exotic dancing. I don't think anyone gets. Shows anything.
I went on a date with a stripper once, and it just wasn't going well. But it's a stripper. What did I expect? And then on the way back, she
Hello,
said, "You can
trauma.
just pull over here."
Drop
And
me
I,
off.
I didn't ask why. I thought she could pull over here. I thought she was going to be sick. I didn't know, so I just pulled over. And she just went over to behind a toilet, the phone box, and just pulled the knickers down and just pissed. Then got back in the car. That's the end of that, then, isn't it? Or the beginning of the night. One of the two, depending on your outlook. I just thought you don't even know.
That's a good girl out. We went to the Harvester.
Yeah. Well, Nando's, yeah. But,
Not Nando's.
yeah, after
Nando's,
that, it was just
God.
like, this is just somebody does something. It's like, that's
Did
it,
they not?
this is done.
Did she not warn you and say, "Oh, I really
Nothing.
need
Nothing.
the
Just
lady"?
I thought she was going to be sick, so I thought, oh, all right. So I was pulled over. But then I could see
I think I wouldn't. It's not necessarily that. It's the fact that you don't like.
there has to be a warning. I'd understand
Yeah.
if you got to be like, oh, listen, I really need to go to the toilet.
Because also
Can you-
just like just to give you so you're not looking because you're going to look going what's going
no,
on.
it's like 10 feet from me. Not even trying to. Like
could
she
still
had no
avert your
concept
gaze.
of it.
Yeah.
It was like a bit iffy.
Didn't care.
Yes, I thought that says the fact that she doesn't care says that this is
Wow.
probably a regular occurrence. So that was the end of that one then. She was thick anyway. And I'm not being nasty, but she just was like, oh my God, she doesn't know anything. Which is really my fault for being there. Like, it says what it does on the tin. Do you know what I mean? What did you expect? Talking about Chaucer and fucking Oscar
Were you
Wilde.
actually talking about Chaucer and Oscar Wilde?
No, I couldn't get anything out of it. It was like hard work.
Not even Beckett.
I went out on a date with another stripper in
Yeah.
this lesson, didn't learn a lesson like you. I went back for more. And but she turned up half an hour late and didn't say anything. I was literally
been
I
gone.
had
I'd have
something
been
to drink, and I was thinking, right, she hadn't called me, she hadn't texted me. So I think about 15:15, I thought, right, let me get the bill. I'm just getting out of here.
Yeah.
And as I'm getting up, she turns up and she's talking. And the worst thing, she's been all very friendly, like nothing. Just turned up as if she was on time.
Yeah.
People are coming and talking to her at the table. Oh, hi. So I'm thinking, she's not saying, oh, I'm with somebody. She's yapping. I'm thinking, you bloody moron. You really are stupid. But anyway, hang on. What have we got to do? Let's talk about acting.
This is more fun. I want to
Yeah.
talk about people weeing in the street and
What? So it's I'm curious of the escalation of your career. So you did the film with the Dame.
So did Mrs. Henderson,
Yeah.
and then sort of went on, and then did. So you sort of get with this business. It's so you get roped into doing other stuff. Like you'll meet somebody and they go, "Oh, do you fancy coming and doing this?" Or "Do you want to do that?" And then I went to do a little bit of doubling for Elijah Wood on
What does
Green
doubling
Street. I might have the same. I might have to put a wig on and do some of the things that he doesn't want to do.
Like a stuntman.
Ish.
There's also is there a lot of standing stuff so that
Standing stuff, doubling, some stunts, all that
But
sort of
I
stuff.
understand the stance. What's the bit in between? I don't know what
so
doubling is.
standing would be so. For example, if they're filming, you're filming like a scene with the
And
two of
over
us
the shoulder, let's say
talking,
over the shoulder, and all you're seeing
Yeah.
is this part of the shoulder from
Yeah.
my perspective. And you just use my shoulder, you can go and have a coffee. We'll just put
It's
my
a time-saving thing.
yeah.
Well,
Really?
it's so an
Well,
actor.
that's your job, to be
it's so an
filmed.
actor can stand, but it also means that they could go off and film a scene with another unit,
Yeah.
essentially.
Bloody
Or
hell,
Yeah,
didn't realise.
but I mean, it's more
things
just so
like
they
the
could be
bill.
comfy
God,
on
we
set.
used to have like 4 or 5 units out at one time doing the bill.
But surely the director would say, "No, you're the actor. We've paid for you. Stand there and let's film your shoulder."
You would think.
Really? It just doesn't. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realise.
I like to
Doubling.
do everything myself.
Yeah, well, it seems strange. Right, you go off and we'll have somebody else
No
to
one
film
like
your
me, though.
shoulder.
There's no-
yeah, but it's
one's-
also
no one's
it's an
on my
extra
shoulder.
job for someone.
You could be
It's
my
just
you could be
weird.
my little double.
It's just weird. Oh, there you go. He
There
just
you
sorted
go.
himself out. Yeah.
Like that. New
Get the blow
career.
dry. Woo. Yeah, you
For
could.
the hair.
Right? Yeah. Just stand from behind. Yeah, I think you well done. You well spotted. So yeah, you've done some of that. What else?
Voiceovers. So I've
Oh.
done voiceovers since I was probably 18, and I've worked my way around.
Just that I always, whenever I hear autobiographies, like Stephen Fry, they always talk about how well paid
He's-
voiceovers is.
Really, for
Yeah.
Stephen Fry, yeah, probably.
I mean, this is in those early days. There's always a thing of like going to record a voiceover.
Yeah.
Always paid well.
Yeah, I mean, I did.
I suppose
some
for what
during
you're
lockdown.
doing,
Yeah,
is probably
yeah. I can.
better.
I mean, I can sit home and do a whole session like this and send it down an ISDN to whoever.
Right, yeah, I'd heard that there was like the people that are doing Disney films, like the celebrities, they're
Yeah.
actually getting the booths just made
Yeah,
indoors. They can just get up in their pajamas,
Yeah.
record it and send it in.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it?
Well, you
It's
think also, especially in the age of COVID,
like, yeah, right, yeah.
but also again, it means you can have because animated films used to have voice actors and who did specific things. You know, so the guy who does the voice of Bugs Bunny isn't someone famous. But now, whenever they cut, whenever you see, a Pixar film, it's not people who have spent their whole careers in voice acting. They're whoever's on SNL, or it'll be somebody, it'll be Elijah Wood or whoever. It'll be someone
Well,
famous.
there's something wrong with my brain because when I was a kid and I heard anything animated,
Yeah.
I didn't know why I couldn't listen to it. And it was almost like I could hear the unnatural flow. The voice was too perfect.
Yeah.
It didn't match up with
Yeah.
the how the sentence would come in. There was no overlay of
Yeah.
speech.
Sometimes you never even meet the people.
Yeah, and I could
the
hear
actors
it.
never
As
even
a
meet.
kid, I'm thinking anything cartoonish. It doesn't sound like these.
It
I
depends
didn't
on
know
what
it at
they.
the time.
I mean, I think, for example, Family Guy, they try to if they're having like a big confrontation.
I would be
afterwards,
surprised if they're not in the same
do
room.
the same-
Yeah,
they
I know
try-
Seth. He likes to do if he's doing let's say he's doing Stewie and Peter at the same time. He will do both there and then
right. Yeah,
and try and
Yeah,
do
it
it
makes a
to the
difference.
best cut that
Yeah.
he can. But voiceover wise, for me, it was I loved doing it, and I've only just stopped. I won't say. I did. I've just been sacked actually.
Nice.
Not for anything, not for any reason,
Yeah.
because I won't name the company, but let's just call them Big Broadcasting Company.
Right.
And I've worked for them for on and off since I was 18.
Yeah.
For I don't know, let's just call them the radio station 1 and 2.
So what do you class as sack? What does that mean?
They don't need you anymore.
Right.
Because they would much rather pay somebody to do the voiceovers that they're already paying as a staff member.
Oh, wow, bloody
So
hell.
rather than having the arty-farty freelancers.
What's the like in America? You got the SAG. What's the British? Is there a British
equity?
version? Oh, equity. Is that still
Equity,
going?
equity, yeah. Strong.
Equity member,
Yeah,
and you pay your dues, and you just get covered for whatever.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good for public liability
And
insurance.
what's the
Stuff
thing?
like
Do you
that.
have to be with them?
No,
Oh, you don't. It's not.
but don't.
In America, it's a lot stricter. with the
yeah, I
hours.
thought like-
you do,
yeah.
yeah. But here it's like, don't come crying to us when you don't get paid, or the
Oh, okay.
conditions are not right, or. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of the production companies have. It's not just for the actor now; it's for the production companies as well. So they will have to abide by equity's rules,
Yeah.
or
Right,
not
yeah.
all rules that are set by Bectu or.
And is
within the
equity?
government.
There's a standard of pay set.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the extras
Yeah,
and things
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Can you be an extra with
Yeah.
equity?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I thought you still.
I think it's,
They-
I think
they
it's
just-
Bectu actually, isn't it? For
Oh, I don't know.
I think
should know this.
I'm not sure. actually.
But there is so there's all sorts of different. I mean, I used to work in casting a long time ago, but well, not actually that long ago, but it seems like a long time ago. And there will be set rates for. It just depends on what you're doing. So if you're doing, say, a 9-hour day and you're a main part, you might be the minimum's like 250, 350.
I remember when somebody told me years ago when they're talking about the fact that if you're in a show, if you speak, they've got to sort of pay you.
Yeah. Oh, so when your haircut, change your top.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So if I'd ever see like EastEnders and there's somebody and they say hi, and they just go,
oh, that's £100.
They just go, oh, that's what they do want to pay you.
Loads of things. Otherwise, you get residual. I mean, nowadays it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it
So what do you say? You say change if you're getting your hair cut, you got to pay.
If you get your hair cut in a show, like when I did Mrs. Henderson Night to have the old navy short back and side, you get paid for that.
Yeah,
£40.
What else?
So I earned £40 before I'd even done anything.
Well, especially if it's very different from your headshots, isn't it? Because that's your look that you're then going out.
Yeah, to shave your head. That's got to be a good.
Yeah, you get paid money for that. Depends on what it is.
No, I don't think it's even for shaving. I think it's the same fee.
It's just a haircut.
I think it is. Yeah, that is what it is.
Brilliant.
Yeah, changing tops. So I remember when we did
changing
EastEnders,
tops.
You would multi-episodic. So you would just say, oh, they keep the same jeans on, but just change your top. It's a new day, and they'll just knock a different scene out. Same people, just swap the extras around as well. Put them in different stuff.
Oh.
And then have them where they were in the first scene, they'll be walking that way. But on this one, we'll have them walking that way, or we'll have them coming towards us, or stuff like that. Yeah.
Do you you're doing writing? Is there any directing in you? Is that not your thing?
Oh yeah. So on the pilot for Cockneys Gas, I directed some of that.
Oh nice.
Just because we tried to keep it all in between us.
Yeah.
David likes to direct a bit. Mark Morahan is a fantastic director. I think he's directed other stuff as well. He's very, very good. He knows what he's doing. There's a voiceover as well, Mark.
Yeah.
He does. He's the voice of Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like
So
old Tom, or is this a modern Thomas?
The one
The old
now.
school.
Yeah.
Oh, now.
But not many people have done that. So like, for me, that's
that's like a lifelong job.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, it's the new Kermit, and it's like there's been 3 of them, but it's been over 60 years or something.
It's like Trigger's broom.
Yeah.
If the one the autobiography I listened to was the Jim Henson one. It's it's like 13 hours, but it's so when you just the old school sort of personalities before everyone had a camera in their face, and you go, oh, that's a story of a man who that's the way he wanted to do everything.
Yeah.
And just his life was the work, his business was friendship, the whole thing was just like what you would want it to be. And it's like, oh yeah, that's great. I was talking to somebody the other day. We were talking about the Madonna one again. I'm just talking about the desperation for fame, where she was like great, because in it is like she started off as a dancer, couldn't do that, and become singer accidentally and all this sort of thing. But just I have to be famous, and like knowing it, like that's it. I just need to be looked at. That is it. And there's a lot of lies.
It's never appealed to me really. Not
I
really.
can understand the appeal of wanting to entertain,
Yes.
but
No,
the idea of
just the
like
fame.
to be famous.
Famous, like to actually.
Crying. I said before, there's a bit where a friend said, I walked in on her because she got to New York and it wasn't working out. She had nothing. It just wasn't going anywhere. And she said she was in the fetal position crying, saying, I just want to be famous. I want to be famous. And you go, you never get fixed from that. Do you know what I mean?
I don't
That's
think so,
something deep in your soul. She's here. Just here recently.
No.
Was she looking good?
She's not in Sutton very often.
I shouldn't have a go.
But you're going to anyway.
What's that? I did phone shop there.
She was on some award. Have we done? Has there been an award show recently? Music award?
There was the Met.
The Met Gala the other night.
I don't know. It must have been in
no.
America.
I think I did see. It's what's the Grammys?
Oh,
the
Grammys.
Grammys, wasn't
I
it?
like the fact that she's come out and she's in like bondage gear, but it's to the point where you're basically tied in. You're not. That's not really your body. You've got the hat. You got your hair, big makeup, big hat, leather strapped it. That's not really you. You go, well done, because you're not.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a
But
whole
it's the plastic
subsect of
surgery.
culture.
And you go, but I don't know what you are in it.
It's like having this chair upholstered, isn't it? It's still underneath.
It's like it was so because she had the surgery as well, and it's like I get it, but that's times that's gone now. Like don't do that thing of dragging yourself through the mud on the way out the door. But no, because you go, I sort of that be the last one. You're getting that.
That's it. Yeah.
That's
no
it.
more. You've
No more
harnessed
bondage for
yourself
you,
in.
Madonna.
The big hair's covering everything. You can't see. Basically, can't see you. But that go away now. That's
I'm
your
sure.
lot.
I'm sure she doesn't dress like that day to day.
No, but it's the fact it's not really you're not that attractive.
Yeah, but isn't that
It's
the
just-
point?
I shouldn't have a go, but
The argument with her and Elton is hilarious.
What's that?
The argument between her and Elton John.
Oh,
Where he just
yeah.
goes on stuff and goes, "Oh, she just looks like a slag now."
Nice.
England.
Elton's there, like
Yeah.
all in his nice suits.
Yeah.
She's just a slag. Just whatever.
That just reminded
His
me
new
of
album's
English.
good. Have you heard his new album?
Oh God, is he still
It's
going?
the Lockdown Sessions, and he's got like Dua Lipa on there, and like
How old is he
brilliant.
now? He's got to be what?
It's got to be 70, isn't he?
And how's the hair doing? Is he still sort of
Well,
like this weird sort of thick hair?
I was going to go and see him on his Yellow Brick Road tour,
Mm.
but it was cancelled like 3 times during lockdown. And they said, "Oh, do you want to book it again, or do you want to just get a refund?" And I went, "Do you know what? I'm going to take the refund because if it keeps going on and on and on, and I paid like £400 for these tickets, it's a lot. I'm never going to see him again." But
I mean, you go for dinner with him after for that.
But then he just went, "Oh, actually, I've just had a load of about another 100 dates," and I was like, "What?"
100.
But you just can't get tickets. But it's going to be he's a good performer. He's a good entertainer. And
What's it called? The Yellow Brick?
Yellow Brick Road tour. It's his last one.
What was there was a band in like the 90s, it's one of these rock bands, and they were basically like, they did the thing where they said, right, we're not ever doing it again, that's the end of it, F you, that's it, we're done. And they actually said like, we'll do it when hell freezes over. But then they came back years later and it's called the Hell Freezes Over Tour. They should have to call it the Hell Freezes Over
The
Tour.
Spice Girls did it. I went to see them a couple of years ago as well. They keep coming, bringing
Just
themselves
trying to
out.
bring
don't
that
they?
back, that fake, the girl
Do you know
power.
what though?
We hate each other.
They were really, really good. Really good.
Was it just the 4 of them?
That was all of them.
That was all of
Oh
them.
no, it wasn't Victoria. No, yeah, she didn't come. Yeah,
Even
She
without
was,
knowing anything, I was about to say, what, you
yeah,
went, she went back?
I was trying to think. I forgot about her because I forgot that she was.
Well, that's it then.
Spice Girl.
There is no Spice Girls. That's so embarrassing. You go,
Theo's making a stand here.
nobody
All
go,
5 or nada.
yeah, but you go, look, we can't do it without you.
They brought their
It's-
mums on stage though, so then well, there we go.
Surprised all their
fucking
mums
hell.
are all around.
I only went for Jess Glynn to be honest. She was the support act, and
Who's she?
what?
What
He
is-
doesn't know popular culture, does he?
Oh, okay.
Jessica Lynn.
Jessica Lynn, yeah. Jessica Lynn, yeah. No, Jess Glynn.
Who's she? Singer.
Singer, brilliant. Very, very good.
British?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fantastic.
okay.
Beautiful red
I've never been
hair.
to a concert. Have you been to
Have you
concerts?
You've never been to a concert?
No, I think it's odd to. I've never been to any show.
Not even the Rolling Stones.
Nothing. I've never stood in front of anything. Well, mind you, I've been doing security since I'm like 21. So I've been in clubs.
Ah,
and
it's
it's,
not- yeah,
it's the
get
last
that.
place I want to be.
So all the Pitbull jokes are just completely...
He's like,
No.
what are you calling me, a dog?
I went.
worldwide.
There was I did security at like a Wembley football stadium once, and I just hated it. I was surprised by how bad the security was.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, this is like on TV and security,
Yeah.
and I was there thinking, there's nobody watching these back
I could
doors.
streak now.
These
Was you
people at the
thinking?
back. No, he's like
What do you
doing
think
the
of the
big
Manchester
doors.
bombing
Yeah,
that
yeah.
happened with our aircraft?
I mean, this is like 20 years ago. But there's some people thinking, none of these people give a shit about the security. They're all talking. This is before mobile phones.
Yeah.
And we're here on one door, big, massive
Well,
door.
look at Euros recently. They're all in there, weren't they? They broken into Wembley
Yeah,
then.
so Wembley Stadium, there was a big crush, and they were just all these people just
Because
poured
this
in.
is the problem with these things. The security is one big company
Yeah.
that subcontracts. You get about 15 down, and it's just some bloke's mate.
Little local.
Yeah. But that is like the weak link. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's as secure as that weak bloke there.
Well,
Because he's in
that's
charge
exactly
of that
it.
one door.
Yeah, but that was the exact thing with the bombing, with the Manchester arena
Yeah.
bombing.
I never found out what happened about that.
So that was just there was no bag search on him. He was, I think, at that point was being watched by MI5.
Yeah,
or
was
certainly
definitely
on
on
their
their list.
radar kind
Yeah.
of thing. But
Did
he
people die?
yeah, children were
Oh,
killed.
Shit.
Yeah.
Why there? Just for the news story?
Well, I mean, it's just an act
just
of terrorism.
just
because.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was he pledged allegiance, I suppose.
I don't think there's any
Almost
real
to
reason
ISIS.
behind any of this. It's
With mental
just-
health, it just comes down to like something wrong.
Yeah.
Brought up wrong, no opportunities, delusional. It's just mental health. That's all it is. One day we're gonna have to get to grips with it. It's not about religion. It's nothing to do with any of that. That's just a reason. That's what they just latched
Yeah.
onto them. Could have been drug addiction. Could have been, but just this. Never fixing the problem. But then you got the media who like terrorism. So you got the whole thing. It's just feeding. So you go, there's nobody's trying to fix this really. They
Yeah.
like the fact that the war machine
look at
needs
this
war.
whole Shahima Begum thing recently. She
Yeah.
goes off and joins ISIS, comes back, wants to go. Oh, well, let's all give her airtime. Let's get her on this morning.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Should be in reality,
Just-
Big Brother. Do you know what I mean? And I'm being funny, but you go, no, that's what happens. This
I
is the
wouldn't be-
machine.
yeah,
should be in
probably.
Big Brother.
Yeah, should be
Probably
doing the
5-10
bloody
years,
jungle.
yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine? This just this.
But
that-
you
that's
can
what-
never think how low they'll go. It's just
it's
celebrity, mate. Yeah, but what if you've murdered a celebrity,
Yeah,
mate?
but you
They
think,
get
how
on
many
with it.
times do you go to the cinema and you watch a film and you go, hold on, didn't he rape? Isn't he? Didn't he rape somebody, or didn't he? Here's Marky Mark.
Yeah.
Didn't he blind some guy when he was a youngster? And like Mark Wahlberg punched a guy in the head and blinded him. Yeah, in one eye, and paid him off basically because he was a thug.
Yeah.
When he was younger.
Like Sean Penn.
Yeah, but like a lot of these guys, or you go see, The Hangover. There's rapist Mike Tyson. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Oh, but look at his funny.
Let's put him in The Hangover.
Yeah. Oh, let's have his funny cameo.
Although with him, it was obviously bollocks, to be fair, because he got stitched up himself. Like and it's like that's why they've allowed it, because the whole they know he didn't do it. It was mental, because all the stuff that came out afterwards. I mean, even there was most of his defense wasn't allowed in the defense.
Yeah.
And the boyfriend of her, the girl that alleged the rape, came out after. He said, I wasn't allowed to speak. She said, she accused me of raping her, and she had to go to court.
Case is ridiculous.
She went and had to admit that he didn't. He said, but I wasn't allowed to say that. It's like she'd accused me.
Yeah.
And they nearly got and then she had to admit that she admitted, okay, I didn't do it. And so now you end up millions of pounds. He basically didn't have a defense, because his defense lawyer was like, what's his name? Who's the king?
Don King.
Yeah, Don King. Got rid of a proper lawyer, and put his tax lawyer as part of his rape defense, so he could get the money. Like, he knew he was going down the pan, so he said, let's all milk it. So he had no defense at all, and all the stuff that could have put in that saved him didn't go put in. But that's why they've allowed him the thing, because it's basically.
But my point is, there's a lot of people who commit heinous crimes openly, and then they just carry on. I mean, you're starting to see more repercussions now.
Oh yeah, I mean, I won't go into any names, but look at the Newsnight. Quite a big celebrity, I'd say. A Newsnight interview. A fella that doesn't sweat, apparently. And now there's papers being served on him. Are there papers being served on him? Was it a thing that leaving him at security?
Yeah.
Has he been served? Is it going to happen? Is he going to go to prison? Is he going to be in Belmarsh like everybody else?
Yeah, all this nonsense talk where you go, it's like, the media just go, look, let's just give people something so they feel something's happening.
Yeah.
I'll say, okay, I tell you what, I'm going to go away. I'm just going to come back in a year and tell me what happened.
With Prince Andrew.
Yeah, don't tell me the story, what's going to happen and what the story of the might and he's been served is. I'm just going to go away and I'm going to come back and nothing will have happened.
No, I would expect nothing's going to happen.
I wouldn't be surprised that they make a point of actually doing something with him.
Nah, they can't do it. It's too makes them look too bad.
I don't know.
There's no upside to him getting done. It looks bad. You got to think the Queen. That's like. He can't go down. He can't go down.
I mean, he's not in.
I think when we're saying he can't go down, what we're saying that doesn't mean we're saying he shouldn't go down.
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to get the one of his bodyguards on here that's been doing around speaking about him, and he just said he said I was laughing as I was watching the interview. The lies. I don't sweat. He said I saw him sweat all the time.
Well, straight away that was a problem. Like immediately, people found all these pictures of him dancing in nightclubs with girls, being all sweaty.
He's at his dad's funeral in all his gear, absolutely buckets of sweat coming off him.
But just the stories of like him being a nasty person, like nasty in front of embarrassing people, embarrassing the police officers, getting them to do menial jobs to embarrass them. That his protection squad. Really, really bad. But let's get off this. Talk about acting again. So, if you could have been in any film, what film would it have been?
Ooh.
Are we going comedy? Are you going deep drama?
Do you know what? And I know it's a weird one, but I don't care what I would have been in it, or who I would have been in it, or whatever. But I'd like to have worked with Robin Williams. I'd like to have probably been in Mrs. Doubtfire.
What were his last films?
I'm not even sure, to be honest, what his very last one was.
Photo Booth? Was that what was on?
That was a dark creepy one,
photo. 1 hour photo.
Yeah, that was good because he was a good actor.
Yeah, he was a fantastic actor. Take away from the comedy from him. You can't take the comedy away from him, but he was a fantastic actor.
Well, isn't they say all comedians want to be drama actors and all serious actors want to be
Jim
comedians?
Carrey, again, fantastic actor. Take the comedy away from him.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was sad. I listened to something last year and they're talking about knowing Robin Williams when he used to go out. And he said he was so nice when you and your mate were talking to him. He said, but if a third person come up, you'd see him go into show mode.
Okay.
As soon as a third person, he started to then tip over into, I've got to...
It's an audience and it's not...
That's deep, sickening, that's bad.
Yeah.
I can see you in a sort of... What are you worrying about?
He's panicking.
And I think it's time for a new British Carry-On film.
Do you know what? Again, my
Get Russell Brand out. Right, you're
They
in
tried.
there.
You know, they tried it. They did try
did
it. Oh, I'm not even going to.
When?
I'm not even going to mention his name because
Was
he's
it not
not.
with Rick Mail?
No.
Is this the
Yeah, I'm not
they're on
even.
a ship.
British producer who?
Yeah, you'll know him because you worked in casting.
Yeah.
this?
So
Don't even say his name.
yeah, I can't.
Don't even. Don't.
I mean, also legally, it's, so basically, the British, it, to the extent that it got, things like the Hollywood Reporter, like, oh wow, big news.
Did you see that?
It was so good. So basically, they he'd gotten the rights to this to the Carry On films. He was like, we're going to relaunch them.
This producer.
Yeah, this
English.
producer.
Yeah.
And so it was just a complete up down. So he'd done all the rounds in Hollywood, all the trades, big news like Carry On films are back. We're going to do this and that.
Films.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
And then
It was a Carry On London, I think it was.
yeah,
called, wasn't it? Yeah.
But the whole plan was like start with one. If it does well, and then we'll use that as the launch pad for to bring back the whole
And
thing.
what a great idea.
Yeah, well, I mean,
come on.
Hammer Films did that.
Yeah.
They came back by
yeah.
just starting off with one or two, doing the kind of Blumhouse model of like, let's start make something very cheap with good casting and give them backing deals.
The audience is there, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But then a lot of people sort of came forward and said about unpaid bills that they would be. He would
From
hire
other
them,
projects.
Yeah, lots of. So he would hire.
He had a bad reputation, you mean?
Oh,
Yeah. So there would be a lot of instances where he would set up, because you often have to with a film, you have to set up a limited company for that film for just for your own legal protection.
He's not some backstreet producer. If this didn't Carry On, you'd think,
but then you just go. But you just go. I mean,
It's very easy for me now to set up a limited company, go to a top agent and say, right, okay, I want to book so and so. All you have to do is provide proof of funding at the time for that. Doesn't mean they're going to get paid it at the end.
Nothing more bigger than that.
It's no different from going buying a house. It's the same.
I thought there was a big machine behind it.
No, not really.
But I think what we should stress here is this is all allegedly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We haven't said who it is. So
But people could look it up. So
Right.
my point is that allegedly there was a lot of instances of essentially using it. Each company was a Ponzi scheme for the
for
next. So
God's
it would raise
sake.
funds. That company would then be liquidated. The funds would go into that one.
But you
that
must
one.
know you're going to make money. If you get the green lit to do something,
It's a little bit like
That's
the
incredible greed.
producers, isn't it? It's you get a load of little old ladies
right.
to invest their money, and you create a flop.
I mean, I should say that I know
Ish.
people who worked for this producer, and they were like, "For me, it was fine. I got
Yeah,
paid
can
off."
I
Oh,
Like
our makeup
Pavel.
artist, Cockney's Gas, she got paid, loved it.
Yeah.
It's,
But I don't know
So-
if you think that would go ahead. That's a good thing. Like that would work now. A string of Carry On films. Who would you put in it though? I can only think Russell Brand, Stephen Fry's got to be in it somewhere.
well, do you want?
I mean, don't give me any
not
ideas.
quite the same,
Go on.
but about. Well, how old's my daughter now? My youngest. It's about six years ago ish. I started writing a TV show. I'm not going to even tell you the name because it's being made now, and
nice,
I'm
yeah.
furious. And
without you.
told a few people, and I've still got the emails offering the rights and all that sort of stuff. And they said, okay, we can sort the rights for you. It's
Yeah.
not a problem. But hold off for a second because there could be a collaboration with somebody that used to be in the original of that show.
Oh, so you've written a reboot of this show.
So hold on, try and talk to her and see if there's something you can work together. Or,
Yeah.
if you can work together
Yeah.
on it. I said, okay, all right. She pulled out. I never ever met her. Didn't speak to her about it. And then somebody that I told about it wrote it again, and is now making it now.
Oh, geez.
And it was a big show in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Huge. But
You can't say.
no.
I can't even. I'm trying to even think.
It's just
Like,
a new
you know,
thing.
Imagine like living on like a farm, like with a really fun mum and dad in like an old Kent village.
Go on, so keep going.
No, so I wanted to remake Darling Buds of May.
Could you do that now?
Yeah, because do you know who I would? So it's been remade. It's called The Larkins,
Yeah.
with Bradley Walsh
Bradley
as Bob
Walsh.
Larkin, and a good cast actually. It's been very well written, and it's being filmed at the moment. And good luck to them. It just happened
Just
to be
being
that.
done.
Yeah, but I had James Corden and Ruth Jones. Let's get them back together. Let's put them in as that. That's what I imagined to have
So
them in.
the Carry On thing, there's nothing at the moment. It's dead.
No, but
Don't-
I mean,
there's not
Carry
been-
On London,
I-
come on.
Do you know what? I don't think
With
they
all the
would even entertain it again now.
Well, I
they've been
think
burnt,
probably
haven't
with
they?
the current setup, it might be a case that. But the honest answer is I don't know. So I don't know. If
But who owns the rights?
Well, his producer was the idea, wasn't it? That he'd bought the rights to it. So whether he still owns them, that's when it. Like,
he actually bought the rights.
Yeah, I
completely.
think he bought the rights.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that was the whole point. Was he bought the whole right? He bought the
So
rights.
that's why I don't understand why you buggered everything up. Because you go, well, you've got a thing here. Why would you?
Even if he realised that actually he couldn't afford to do it,
Yeah,
then why
maybe.
didn't he just sell the rights on again and
Yeah,
let
that
somebody
doesn't
who's
make
going to
any
bloody
sense.
make
Yeah,
it?
but I
Give
think the
yourself a
idea.
bad reputation.
Well, whatever, But my point. It wasn't that the carry-on film said because nothing had happened. He just bought the rights, and the plan was to do it. But then people said, "Oh, hold on!" But all these other past productions, you weren't paying people.
Yeah.
Or you were closing down the company and saying, "Oh, it's not my fault."
Oh,
Sorry.
right. So you
That's what I
dragged it
mean.
with it.
Nothing to do
Everything
with
that went with it,
nothing to
yeah.
do with the carry-on films. That was the point. It was.
I wonder how much it would be to buy the rights.
It'd be quite a lot, I would think.
Ricky Gervais has another one I put in. That's another one, yes. Stephen Merchant, he'd be in there.
Yeah.
Who else you got? It's got to be something British. Female.
Oh, female.
Got a female in there. Damsel in distress, if you can still say that.
I don't think. See, this is the only thing. I think you could do. I get what you mean.
It'd have to be a
The
watered
brand-
down version.
Oh,
But the
my
brand,
God, yeah.
well, it would just have to be equal opportunity.
No,
So
it'd
it's
be
not
alright.
just women.
We'll make sure we get the whistle. When somebody's trousers fall
They
down.
were great though. The original, the
play with
original
that
Carry-on
forever.
films. Oh, bad.
Some of them were
Kenneth
good.
Williams and I liked most of them, to be honest. The newer ones, I wasn't
I
really.
didn't remember them
as time, yeah.
But
Once
the
it got kind of
campaign
the,
and
yeah,
all that sort of stuff.
Carry On Up the Khyber was good.
Yes.
What was Ricky Gervais? Was it a Muppets thing, or did he
Yeah,
do
yeah,
the
he
Carry-On?
was involved
He
in
did
the
the
Muppets.
Muppets.
Yeah.
Because that's got that same sort of, the
Anarchic kind of, yeah, and
Yeah.
lots
Yeah.
of puns.
yeah, that you don't get unless shame when you're forgetting them, sort of thing. Infamy, they've all got it in for me. I mean,
Yeah.
that is the
Oh,
greatest
Kenneth
comedy
Williams.
lines. I don't know if you can say the other ones I want to say.
No, I don't think so.
They did. I tell you who did. David Walliams played.
Oh yeah, he'd be in it.
He would have to be in it because he played.
I wouldn't want him in it though.
Who did he play recently?
Widow Twanky or something like that.
No, he played one of the from that era, from the Carry-Ons, but it was his life story.
Oh right, so you mean who would that have been though?
Because
Frankie Howard.
Michael
Frankie Howard, he
Sheen,
played Frankie Howard.
Oh,
yeah,
did he?
What was that?
He did, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
And
I like those
and Mr.
things.
Sheen played
Kenneth Williams.
Kenneth Williams.
Yeah.
I was watching that yesterday. Actually, it was fantastic.
It's great. They were great. Did they do who was the just like that? The Fez.
Tommy
Yeah, did
Tommy
they do
Cooper.
him? I think
Yeah, they did. Yeah. I
So
don't think David Walliams played him.
and
But
they did the
there was
nurse. What's her name?
There's
Hattie
been two,
Jakes.
yeah.
Hattie Jakes. I didn't see that one.
There was a stage show with Jerome Flynn years ago. This is like 10, 20 years ago. Of him doing Tommy Cooper. He came out and did it, I think it was on Parkinson's, and did it in character as Tommy Cooper. Basically just did 5 minutes of the show. And
What
it
with
was
Jerome Flynn?
Yeah,
Actually,
it was
looking
so
at him,
good, yeah.
yeah.
I can't remember
can
who
see that.
there was a TV film. Oh, it was I forgot his name now, but he was Frank Gallagher in Shameless. He's the main guy in Shameless.
Yes,
He did a TV film of it a few years ago, I think, as well.
That's right.
I don't think anyone's
Yeah.
done a Hattie Jakes film.
Yeah, I don't know about that because
They did that Channel 4 thing.
she was married to John from Dad's Army, wasn't she?
Oh, wish I didn't realise.
John
Le Mesurier.
Yeah.
Oh, was she?
Well, if you watch her and Kenneth Williams, I think Carry On Doctor,
Yeah.
where he's chasing around because he knows he has to get a woman to get his masculinity back. And it's one of the funny things because when you're watching it, you can see her not trying to laugh. You can clearly see she's trying like, I want to be wooed, or you can be as wooed as you like with me. There's a bit where she hits him in the face by mistake. And
Yeah.
tries to stop herself. Oh, it's great.
That's so fun. And
I tell you what, I'm digging all them out.
John Inman as well.
Yeah.
All those.
Oh, God.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
I never understood.
Pissing by your door.
I was just about to say, how did they get away with him? Because that was like 1 o'clock on a Sunday.
Because she could.
And he'd be saying shit. and
Because
you go,
you
Oh,
could.
but sheet. You go, no,
Because
hang on, it's just-
nobody-
Yeah, because you argue that
nobody-
it's a pun.
Yeah.
It's it's not. You're not actually saying.
Can you,
I tell you, if you're against Me Too, don't watch bleeding. What's the
If you're against Me Too,
or what for Me Too, whatever the thing. I don't know what the wording is. You agree with Me Too?
yeah.
Don't watch. What's the Grace Brothers? The shop.
yeah, that's the one with John Inman.
Yeah, what's it called? Oh, come on. Are you being served?
Are you being served? Yeah.
You can't put
I'm
that on
free.
TV now. I mean, there's lots of
They
girls
tried to
bending
remake
over.
it, didn't they? Didn't they remade it with Sherry Houston was playing
What, it's like a one-off
Slocum.
thing?
Yeah, I think it was like a one-off drama,
right,
but for ITV, I think. But Sherry Houston played Mrs. Slocum.
Do you remember they did these one-offs on it's like the Royal Shakespeare Society or something, and they did the one-offs of like the classic comedies, and it was a play, but it was filmed and put on TV, and they're like 15-minute versions, and they did Steptoe and Son. It was so bad because it was clearly two sort of Royal Shakespeare actors.
Oh, okay.
They weren't getting the accents right.
Yeah.
It was just nothing. It was just two people acting like almost like they're mocking the accent.
It's a bit weird.
Good friend of mine did a touring play of Steptoe, and it was written by the original writers as well. So it was they knew what they were doing. Harry played the dad, and I just remember he said, "Come and see it. Come and see it. You'll love it. It's brilliant." And I just remember he didn't mention anything about it, that he would be bollock naked in it. And he's like a 60-year-old man.
Oh God, yeah, that's what that look like.
Jesus Christ,
wet
you never
tea bag.
said that. And he was like, "Oh, you enjoyed it then?" I was like, "What?"
Enjoyed
Yeah.
is not the word.
No,
What were the writers? I sent the pilot to them. They didn't remember that BBC
Galton and
Simpson or
Galton
something?
and Simpson. Yeah.
They put out something a couple of years ago, last year, about open
I think
to writers. You could put
one
in
of
the
them's
script.
gone now. Aren't
Yeah,
they?
I think so. Yeah, but yeah, that old school sort of thing. I wonder if they're all like sirs now. Are they? Those two?
Dad's Army. Jimmy Perry. I knew Jimmy Perry well.
Who's Jimmy Perry?
He wrote Dad's Army with
Oh,
David
right.
Croft. What else did he write? Heidi High.
Heidi High, Heidi Ho.
Heidi. That would be a good one to remake. Heidi High.
But you got to. It's the
Sue Pollard.
sauciness.
You'd have to get Sue Pollard back. She's still going strong.
still around?
She's still going strong.
But
yeah.
it's those comedies, a lot of sauciness in it, and you can't have that now. That's a big part of it.
I think the thing is now is a lot of sort of sexual humour goes for the super crude rather than the kind of puns and
Can you get away with puns?
Yeah, I think so to a degree.
If it's well written, I suppose.
If
you
we
could.
just take a Ricky Gervais Golden Globes opening speech and just made that into something.
Unless you mocked the type of thing that it was. Do you know what I mean? Like you're on the side of the audience where you're not being saucy, you're mocking the fact that it's saucy.
So things
something like that.
Roy Chubby Brown. I mean, he's still
I didn't know he was
going.
still going.
He's still going again, strong.
All I know about Roy Chubby Brown is that his name is Roy. I don't know anything about Roy Chubby Brown
Royston.
apart from
Royston.
Royston.
He's fantastic.
What's Royston?
That's his real name, isn't it?
I'll have to say where he's from.
Oh, because his real name is Royston Vasey,
Yeah,
isn't it? Which
yeah,
is
yeah.
the setting of League of
League
Gentlemen.
of Gentlemen,
Again, that's one
Again,
of the
another
few
show.
things. Yeah, but that's I mean, you watch. Actually, they did a live show a few years back called the League of Gentlemen Live again, and there was one bit in the middle where they broke the fourth wall and went, "This character's not aged well, has it?" It was, I think, it was the
Hello Dave.
Well, it was the transgender character. Yeah, Mr. Papa Lazarou, I thought wouldn't be in it at all. I thought you can't have Papa Lazarou. And I don't. Yes, Papa Lazarou was it, but only very briefly mentioned. And then they also did they kind of did a new series as a sort of one-off. So I think it was 3 1 hour, or it might have been an hour and a half films, and he was in it right at the end. I couldn't believe, because I thought there was no mention of him, and you thought, oh, you can't have Papa Lazarou back, even though it's not actually blackface. It's an old, it's the throwback to the old Anglo-Saxon kind of face masks, but you can't explain that to people. And then he popped up right at the end. I genuinely did like a little whoop because it was so because also they did such a brilliant. Because obviously his catchphrase was always, "You'll be my wife now."
Yeah, you're my
Dave.
wife now, Dave. Yeah,
and then
Hello,
it ended
Dave.
with all the women in the town kept disappearing, and it was, is it Tubbs is the woman? You know, with the
Tubbs, yeah.
So she went into a phone booth and took a picture, and that was how all the women were disappearing, because they were going down to the and she's looking around, all these women are trapped in this thing, and they're all, same like in the original series where he just have these women as his wives, and this figure just emerged, and he went, oh my god, it's going to be Papa Lazarou, and he came in with a torch, he went, it's a wife mine now.
But with the face.
Yeah, with the face and everything. Yeah.
Well, I say bring back Carry On film.
Well, there's only one thing that's probably close to that, or within that genre, I would say, is Benidorm.
I've
Is that
never
still
watched
on?
Benidorm.
No,
I've never
it's
seen
gone.
it.
It's gone now.
And it's
He
that
just
sort of
does
thing, was
something
it?
Yeah, it was that sort of seaside humour.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
I guess 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps.
Yeah.
Although it was a bit
Little
more, it
Britain
tended
as
to be
well.
very crude.
Yeah.
That was the similar idea.
I think a lot of people recently have had to apologise for things.
Yeah, Little Britain
for art, which is a shame.
I think it depends.
Silly,
I mean,
silly.
I don't know enough. I never watched enough of 2 pints to really know if that was.
No.
I mean, but parts of Beau Selector, even back then, the Trisha character in particular, which he's Lee Francis, has been very apologetic about, because it wasn't even parodying her as Trisha as a character, it was about her being black,
Right.
And that was the thing about, she was always talking about rice and peas on the show.
Oh,
Right.
God.
Yeah, it was really
Right,
bad,
yeah.
and this kind of very aggressive.
But he tried to make it as a caricature, but with some people, there's only so far you can go with that until you start
it just
getting
didn't really. It was
a
just
little bit
very
offensive,
The rice and peas thing
let
was very
things
odd.
die, let them go away. If nobody watches them anymore,
Yeah,
that's what it was.
He's doing a new show though with Amanda Holden, little plug for him, where he plays her nan. And she's really sweet. I like
haven't seen
her.
the trailers.
I
But yeah.
really, really like her. Whether that'll do well, I don't know, but
What have you got coming up that you can talk about?
nothing.
Nothing you can talk about. I mean, you haven't got nothing you can talk about.
Nothing I can talk about. I've got
coming up.
loads coming up, but yeah, I would say look out for Iris, look out for Cockney Scales.
When's the Cockney Scales coming out? What's the dates? Roughly?
2023
2021?
probably.
When?
2023.
Oh, that
Because it's going to be
Yeah.
taken up by a production company.
Yeah, so it's
Didn't
going
you
to.
say you had 10 episodes done?
Yeah, written.
Oh, written.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so
written.
So is
yeah.
I mean, what? Okay, so worst case scenario is it doesn't get necessarily picked up. Would you carry on? Like, would you do the whole crowdfunding thing, or would you try and take it
potentially.
abroad? Yeah.
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 I think that again, that's the way forward now. That's how a lot of people are getting their shows or things made.
The name stood out to me, as simple as it is. It just works. That works.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. Well, there you go. So that's the podcast. So you said this is your first podcast appearance.
Yeah.
You've turned down them all. You've decided
This is
that
the one
this is
for
the
me.
one.
This
and,
is the
and
one
it was
for me.
local.
Done tons of radio.
Yeah, that helps.
And he was free today to do it. So you going back to Leicester Square now?
Yeah.
On the train?
Yeah.
Having a few drinks?
I might do. Yeah.
What's your mate's name, can you say?
No, not telling you that either.
He is an actor. He's not like his MI5 doesn't come to get me, and it's like a weird. Not that there's any reason to come and get me.
No, we'll actually mention him. His name's Ian.
Oh, Ian. So wait, is he with other people?
Yeah, he probably is.
Okay.
He always says, "Oh, I brought my friend with me," and then I sit talking to his friend. I don't even talk to my friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you
You're a
very
top
much
man.
for
We're
having
gonna
me.
keep in contact.
Thank you.
Obviously, anything's happening, you want to come back
Oh, I'll
on,
come back.
you let us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Something
When you
do.
can actually talk about all this stuff.
Yeah.
Come on and talk about it. Well, I can't.
It's like, I watched it last night. What do you mean you can't talk about it?
Oh, I'll tell you what is good and it's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Luther, the film.
Oh, they're doing a Luther
They are.
Is that with Idris?
Idris Elba, yeah.
So there's a film now.
Yeah.
TV film or like a Hollywood film?
I think it's a proper film. Like a
Oh.
proper.
It's really popular in America.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah,
huge.
I've heard.
Love
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Is there any show you want to be in? We'll end on this. You're trying to get your foot in the door.
See, I never really liked period stuff right up
Right,
until
yeah,
a
yeah.
few years ago. And then they brought out The Crown. And now I'm addicted to it. So if,
Something.
you know,
A
Something
young
similar like
prince in love with somebody. You can see you
that.
on
The
a
only thing
horse.
is, it's now coming up to the modern period, so it's not period anymore.
No.
It's like 2012.
yeah. So,
Well, there you go.
yeah.
Well, we'll keep our eyes out for you, but this is an open door, so you can come back on any time.
Thank
and
you
let us
very
know where you're
much.
going. Especially when it's actually done, the Cockney Scales.
Yeah,
and
oh, yeah,
come
yeah.
talk
You'll
about
love it. Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Thank you
and
very
we'll
much.
See you soon again, hopefully one day.
Okay.
You can go and have a drink now. Cheers.
Cheers.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. You're welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be alive.